Yuletide and the innovative alternatives of its outsiders. It is that time of the year when streets, cities, bus stops, landmarks, monuments, and very recently, social media channels fall into bubbles of festivities. Starting with the Christmas, regardless of its surrounding controversies as regards the original birth date of Jesus Christ and its historical antecedents in Roman polytheistic attachments, to the new solar year celebration notwithstanding its precedence in idol-worshipping Rome, communities and societies tune to delectations by embellishing their homes and engaging in fun-filled activities. But despite the enticement of this festive period and the liberalist approach that it's a season of joy for everyone, many people and communities, Muslims and non-Muslims, do not partake in the celebrations and have also devised multifarious means against idleness during the festive period. Such innovation is the annual Islamic vacation course of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria and December retreats of non-celebrating Christians. The Islamic Vacation Course, IVC. One of the devised innovations for the Yuletide period is the conventional scheduling of annual Islamic vacation courses, IVCs, to the period. This commenced in the 1960s as part of the efforts of Nigerian Muslim students to free themselves from the combined shackles of Christianization and colonization. Hitherto in 1954, few Muslim elites had come together to form the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, MSSN, having seen how Muslim students who wanted to acquire modern education were frustrated into abandoning their faiths before they could pursue their academic dreams. The society came up with strategic innovations to combat the continuous hijacking of Muslims from their faiths, and one of these was the design of biannual Islamic vacation courses, with the first during the long school vacation and the other during the Yuletide season. These vacation courses are often designed as boot camps where Muslim children, youths, and sometimes adults, are trained in multivariate fundamentals of the Islamic faith covering seerah, history, fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence, adab, etiquettes, muamalat, material activities, amongst others. The December boot camps, aiming to keep Muslim children and youths from Yuletide distractions, usually start just before Christmas and ends shortly after new solar year celebrations, covering the core part of the Yuletide period. According to Mrs. Jelalat Olanian, who was a regular at the vacation courses during her schooling, IVCs are highly anticipated boot camps for many Muslim children and youths. Reminiscing over her childhood memories of the camp, she narrated how the boot camps were a period to learn, catch fun, and develop spiritually. She said the application process was very simple and application fees were subsidized with sponsorships from Muslim philanthropists and institutions. She also added that good facilities were provided and attendees were always segmented by gender for residents and by age group for activities. This experience is similar with Mukhtar, who is still a regular at the boot camps. Adding to Mrs. Jelalat's information, he said participants are often taught the memorization of Quranic ayat, hadith, adkar, and cogent moral values that would continue to impact their daily lives. Speaking of what he feels as the most exciting part, he said there are competitions and exciting prizes that are won by participants during some of the activities, and this encourages him to look forward to the annual boot camp because he is a naturally competitive person. Seminars and conferences. In the West, particularly in North America, Muslims frequently organize various events at mosques. Prominent Islamic organizations such as the Islamic Society of North America, ISNA, and the Muslim American Society, MAS, also host numerous activities during the holiday season. Meanwhile, in Turkey, where the period is not traditionally a holiday but the transition into the new year holds, is characterized with various non-Islamic activities. Organizations like Anadolu Gençlik Derneği, Anatolian Youth Association, have developed a program to commemorate the conquest of Mecca. While the historical event took place on January 11, 630, Mehmet Yaraglu, a senior member of the association, explains that the decision to celebrate the conquest on December 31 was made to shield the young people from the temptations and vices that often proliferate on this night, especially those infiltrating homes through the media. The program typically features a variety of events, including conferences, seminars, poetry recitals, drama performances, and presentations on the history of Makkah. An IVC semblance from Christian Yuletide outsiders. As hinted earlier, Muslims are not the only ones that do not share from the euphoria of Yuletide. There are Christians and Christian congregations that do same. Such include the Deeper Life Bible Church, Jehovah's Witnesses, Seventh-day Adventists, God's Kingdom Society and Religious Society of Friends, also known as Quakes. The reasons for these Christian communities are multifarious. One is how some believe priority should be given to commemorating the death of Jesus rather than his birth. Two is the absence of Jesus' birth date in the Bible and how the circumstances of his birth did not project his birth to be in December. 3 is the idolatrous antecedents of some symbols of the festivals. Believing that there is a serious need to preserve the puritanical Christian heritage, some have resisted the urge for Yuletide blues, most especially Christmas, and sought innovations that they believe are non-controversial in Christian theology. This is perhaps why the Deeper Life Bible Church organizes her annual Global December retreat so as to keep her members out of Christmas distractions. Final thoughts. Many Sharia principles align with innovations like the IVCs so as to keep Muslims out of Yuletide distractions. Such include Amr bil Maruf, encouraging righteousness, Nahi anil munkar, resisting reprehensible things, Masalahil Mursala, consideration for public interest, Shaddara, prioritization of harm removal, amongst others. As a matter of fact, one may conclude that such innovations are practical enactments of Allah's commandments in Surat al-Ma'idah, and assist yourselves in righteousness and piety, but not in sin and aggression.